Good morning and welcome, everyone. Welcome to Turning Digital Curriculum into Slides. This morning we have some housekeeping. We want to make sure you're using the chat box on the right to communicate with each other. That's a great way to communicate and ask questions. We are recording through YouTube, and we also want you to make sure you put if you'd like, to click the like and subscribe button down at the bottom. And we have moderators from EdTech that will be popping in your chat room every now and then. You'll see them by having the wrench, so you'll know who they are. This morning, I want to welcome you to our Rosalinda, and who will be doing our really great, wonderful presentation. And at the end of the presentation, we'll be giving a prize away. So make sure you hang around. You have to be present to win. So Rosalinda, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and I hope that you stick around to the end. Hopefully you'll win an exciting prize. So I am Rosalinda Kincaid. I am a resource curriculum teacher for students on Access Points. I also do our Google Classroom for students on Access Points, so I'm sure that you've seen emails coming from me if you are in our Palm Beach County. Today I'm going to go over ways that we can take Google Slides and make them interactive for our students using our curriculum that you guys are provided as teachers. If you taught ESY over the summer, we did create some slides for you guys. We had some really good feedback, and so this is the thought behind that, to share with our teachers on how we did that as a team. I am working with a team of 3 other ladies that are fantastic, and together we worked on that. So I hope that you enjoy our presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to just type it in and we will get those answered. First of all, happy Friday, right? Happy Friday. All right, let's get started. So to begin with, I wanted to share a couple slides that I have been out into our schools and that I see teachers using. So this is an example of a high school slide that one of our teachers created, and this is Misha over at Dwyer. She uses these every morning, and so she's kind of got her background set. I love this as an example because she's using her little GIFs here. She's got her classroom set up. She's got her Bitmoji, as well as she has, if you click on the window, the American flag, it does have the link directly to Pledge of Allegiance. So this is something that she incorporates every morning. It also has her schedule so that her students know what to expect. And so I'm going to show you just a few ways that we can create this. But first, I wanted to show you some examples. The next one is where she uses and goes over calendar. So she will talk about the day and the date as well. And so you can see that we have like the days of the week down at the bottom. So the kids can actually manipulate and fill in if needed. The things that you can do with this are just simply amazing. And I just wanted to share some examples. So if you're like, well, the idea sounds great, but what can I do? That's one. This is a check-in. So during the morning, she checks in with her students. How are you feeling today? This is really great for our students on Access Points or maybe in any other classroom because she does provide the visuals. A few of the links she has as well embedded into the happy, sick, sad, hungry. There are some videos that I know that she shows to talk about those emotions, okay? And this is another example from the lovely Patty Hart over at Limestone Creek. She shared this with me last year when we were all teaching remotely, and I love this for so many reasons. So Patty Hart over at Limestone Creek teaches the little guys, and this was just a way for her to incorporate all of the math tools and websites that she loves for her students to be able to have access to it quickly. Okay, so this can be done just starting with a blank page, and you can see on this example, there are several things that she added, but it could be as simple as 1 or 2 things, or you could see here that she has several things. And so then if we just click on one of the things, let's do the hourglass, then it automatically brings you to that timer. How fantastic is that? Just a click of a button. Okay, you can come back to it and some more fraction strips. That's pretty fantastic. And as well as she has the directions. So click on the math tools to practice. This might be something that you do up on your smartboard for a whole group, or it can be done with just Chromebooks independently at their seats. So the things you can do are just so, the sky's the limit with this. Oops, slide. Okay. If you taught ESY, then you know that this was our slides that we created for our teachers teaching ESY. And so what we did is we went and created different ELA topics, math topics, and we put in the links. So, oh, that was not a good example to show, sorry. So once you click on the link, then it would open up, and this was a recipe that we had and we created with visuals for the teachers. It's nice because you can just plan and you put everything in one spot and you're not having to search, oh, I forgot the name of that website, because it's there for you. That's the nice thing about that. Okay. And so you might notice the slide, the background is different. It's not like the other 2 examples that I shared. This was actually taken off of a website that I'm going to share with you in just a minute. Here is another example. This was South America and just some weekly SELs, some art, music, culinary, and again, you could even do direct links to videos. So this is a Jack Hartman video. Okay. And just some other sites. Okay. So you would say, how do I get started? These all look fantastic. So to get started, I like to use Slides Carnival, and it's really, really simple. So what you would do is you could head on over to Slides Carnival. And once you get there, it's going to open up and you can search. So I just happened to pick this one. There are many things that you can search by up at the top. You can see that you can search. Once you find one that you like, you click on the website and it's going to give you a preview. So at that point, you can scroll through and you can see if that's something that you're interested in, if it's going to be something that you can incorporate into the activity that you're planning. And once you do that, then you would just download the template. We use Google Slides, so then you would just download it by clicking Google Slides. It's going to copy over all of the Google Slides for you, and it's going to put it into your drive. The nice thing about this one is that it already comes with directions on how to use it and how to edit. So I did leave these directions up for you guys to be able to see. The first time that I did use it, I had to read through to see, and then it also gives you more information on how to use the template, as well as obviously the credits for the Slides Carnival and any other resources. There's also directions on how to edit in PowerPoint if that's something that you use. So that's really nice. Some of their things on their slides you can edit, and some of them you cannot edit. So for example, on this actual slide, let me get out of present mode. On this slide, you can see that I can edit this text box. However, I cannot edit this little icon here or the picture over to the right-hand side. So when you're going through the slides on the main page, kind of keep that in mind, that some things you will be able to manipulate and move out of the way, and then some things are just there and you'll have to work around. So keep that in mind. All right. Once you have those downloaded, you're going to import your slides. And by doing that, you would go over to, you could open up a brand new slide. And you're going to go under File. And you are going to go into Import Slides. Once you go to Import Slides, it's going to be there. It's going to be right here. And then you're going to select and then click Insert. I've already done that because we're here. And so then select the slides in the imported file that you would like to use. With the slide presentation, you can use all of the slides if you would like, or you can just import a few that you found that would work for you. I often will import them all and then weed out the ones that I'm not going to use. I find that easier than having to go back in and add more slides later on at a later date. Okay. So go into Blender and download the material that you are teaching. For this example today, I did do our classic literature. And so it tells you a transition headline. You can title it anything you want. This one is a story about Helen Keller. So in this example, I would just delete. And I could put in Helen Keller. To get your picture over, you could open up and either snip it. There's many ways that you could bring over pictures. But this example, I just took a snippet of it just to bring this page over. The nice thing about the slides as well is that you could even change the numbers, but your students won't be able to manipulate the background. The picture will be able to. And I actually took this one and I went ahead and inserted the link right directly into the story of my life level 3. So if we're working on this, you actually have to download it. If we're working on this, let's say for a month, I won't have to go back in every single time to go through my Blender and then go through whatever content area you're teaching. It's going to be there for you. That's just a time saver. And so then we would open it up and we would teach it. So let's say that I presented this for my class. We're starting Helen Keller. We're going to talk about it. We're going to read it. We're going to talk about it. And then within the curriculum in our ESC access points, we do have some questions that go with it. So again, I took a picture of the snippet and what do you think this story is about? So the arrows were actually not there. I did have to add those. And by doing so, you would just go into the insert and then shape and then arrow. And you have the choice of any of these arrows. And for today's purposes, I just picked the down one and down arrow, and then it creates it nicely for you. And you have the option to fill in any color. If you needed to make it red, you could do so. To save time, you would just click on that and you could right click copy and then right click paste and then maneuver it any way that you wanted to. So for timing purposes, I had already done that with the blue one. And then that's there. So then let's say that we're presenting this to the class. I just took this question off of the Helen Keller. What do you think this story is about? Depending on the needs of your students, you could read it or you could have them read it. And so then what do you think this story is about? Let's say that our student is going to select A, Helen dies. Within this, you can link them. So let's say our student does that. And so because that was the incorrect answer, I have it directly linked into try again. Okay, so here we are with our questions. Helen going on an autumn walk. Let's say they select B. We're going to, oh, nice try. Please try again. And so Helen learning to keep trying. And so to do that, you would click on whatever image you decided to upload. And so once you have it selected, then you would go into insert, and we're going to insert a link because we do want it to link. Over to the left-hand side, it does give you that preview. And so you can see that my slide 14 has my thumbs up and it says great job. And so then my slide 15 is my nice try again slide. So whatever you're linking it to, if it's the correct answer, you would link it to 14. If it was the incorrect answer, you would link it to 15. So this particular question response is the correct one, is that Helen is learning to keep trying. So for this one, we are going to actually link it to 14. And so the first and next slide will come up. To get more, you would go click on the slides and presentation, and you would just find whatever slide you needed. And for this instance, it was that good job slide. So you could go here. So then when you're presenting Helen trying to keep going and you have Johnny come up to the board or respond to you however you would like, you would say Helen learning to keep trying, and it would go to great job. So you will have to do that, repeat it, insert. Again, this would be the incorrect choice. So you could do insert and then link, because we are going to link it to a slide in our presentation. Then you would go into the try again. And so here we go. We're going to make sure that it's clicked. And we're going to insert. And we're going to link slides in this presentation. And we can see over here that it's 15. And we would go try again. And so then if our student answers Helen eating cake, nice try again. And so then you could come back to this. To get this GIF, you would use the Gif extension. And so then I have it up here. And let's see. Yep. So you guys can see my screen. And so then you could just type in, I always try to keep it positive. So great job. And click over to the stickers. And you just drag and drop. When you add it to your screen, the first one is the telling you what it's from. So I normally will just click on it and then delete it, and then that goes away, and then you're left with this great job. So then you can size it up, you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger, you can move it. On this particular slide, this one here, this was something that could be moved, manipulated, as well as this. So if you wanted to move the star, you could move it. I actually moved the rocket ship over because I needed more room for this great job. So again, if you wanted more stars, you could be as creative as you wanted to. And so you could just make sure that it's clicked. Then you could copy, and then you could right click again to paste, and you have it again. So again, copy and paste. And so you could be as creative as you wanted to. And that's where I get the GIFs. And so that. And so then always in my bottom slide, I always try to end up as like a great job. So within the class, or you could do any links that any extra links that you wanted to have your kids go back in and view. So let's see. To create these, I just did the same GIF. You could use a solid background, so you could do create a new slide. We're going to Control M, and then you could click this out. We're going to erase these. I like to start with the background first, and then we're going to choose an image. And if you just Google search anything classroom background, you could do that, and you click it, and you're going to insert. And so then to add, if you're going to add words, you would do the text box, and maybe we're going to put today's date, and we're going to do Friday, October 15th, 10/15/21. So you would type it in. And so this is nice because once you set the background, your students can't manipulate or take away anything. So when you're sharing the file with your students, if that's what you do, they're not taking anything away. The wording they can, but that's okay. So then to add a link on words, you would type it in, and then same thing, we're going to highlight, and we're going to go to insert. We could do a link. You could do slides in this presentation. Or this is where you could put in a video. And so like Misha did that wonderful, let's say that we want Days of the Week song. We would just type it in. We're going to select that one. And here we go. Oh, and here we go. And so then you could add that by doing that. And the videos, you could always resize. You could move it to the board if you wanted. You could move it over to the side. The things that you could add in are really like whatever you wanted to add. So on this one, you can see that this example, Misha tried to reflect her classroom. So she's got her library, she's got a window, she's got her dry erase board, she has a clock, she has her teacher's desk, she has the carpet. You could add whatever. I like, she is actually the track teacher or the track coach there. So she has a little track poster, her computer, any of those things. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can go over one of the ones that we created. If we open the preview, the Lego Mania is one of the ones that we really enjoyed making for our teachers over ESY. And we found this Lego template and we decided to use and make math. So for this one, you could see that it does have the patterns. We just renamed it, and then the directions for use. Click on any of the numbers to get to that problem, and then click on the bottom right-hand corner to take you to the main page. That was something I didn't do on the original slides, but you can do that. So what we did is we went up and we searched for a Lego GIF, and this guy is going to bring us back to our main page. So this slide, we have 8 different questions. So when you're using it in the classroom, you could select 2, and it's going to take you to problem number 2. And so you see our directions are there. Complete each pattern below. And this slide actually came with these blocks. And so what we did is we took the blocks and we just copied, and then we posted it into the problem that we wanted to create. So we were at number 2. complete each pattern below. So then we have given the students a choice of 3. So we copied and pasted into the pictures. And so you can see here the pattern, complete each pattern below. This gives the opportunity for the students to manipulate, and you could manipulate that there. Okay, good job. Or try again. And then you could set it back, and you would move it back. Same thing with these blocks. And so once your student has done the correct answer, then you would simply click on the guy, and he's going to bring us home. So to do that, you would click on your picture. You're going to insert the link. And for this one, we want it to come back to slide number 3. So we're going to go slides in this presentation, and we're going to click on number 3. And so then he's going to bring us back to slide number 3. And here we go. And so then you would start all over again. Maybe you are going to go to problem number 8. You would click on number 8. And again, complete each pattern below. So you can go through here. For this particular one, we left the blocks there because we thought this would be such a fun way to incorporate learning for your students, and the teachers could really be creative and come up with anything that you guys had thought, like, oh, wow, I could really use these blocks for my students to learn this or this. So that's nice because that was there. Let's see if there was another one that we really liked. North American animals. This was another one that we did. We did force copy so that we could make sure that we had kept our originals. This was North American animals. And so we thought that the best way to teach about that would be to start off with a video. So we came up and we took some pictures of the animals, and then we embedded a video. So we just typed in the directions at the bottom. And so you could just erase and edit whatever you needed to. Watch and see how many spots. And then the next one, the directions would be use a math tool like a 10-frame mat or a number line to solve the addition and subtraction problems below. Write the answer for each problem. So what we did was we just had a blank, the iPad was the actual background that we used, and we just copied and pasted the animals. And so you can see that they are able to be manipulated. So then if you wanted to take it away, you could do so, or you could copy and add. We tried to really be mindful of the space that we had. So that's kind of why that one is. If you wanted to make them smaller, you would just click on it and resize it. And so when we created these, we thought, okay, your students could write the answer out. They could come on the smartboard and write it out. They're just the ways that they could use this in the classroom were endless. The next one, we did a subtraction problem. You can see when we did the smaller ones, it's just about resizing. And this is really nice because you have the template in the back that the students, again, aren't able to manipulate. You can see I'm trying, but there's nothing that I can move. These components are. So once you've created one template, it's nice because you can recycle it and you could add anything or change anything that you needed to. That's the nice thing about these templates, that they stay there. Okay, let's see. We have a few more minutes. we have any questions? Got time.
Yes, we have one question. What extension do you use for your GIFs?
So it's up at the top corner, and I just Google Gif Extension, and it's this square right here. So I think if you just Google that and then download it, I think GIFs make the world better. They actually added this component, so like Friday. How cute is that? So you could add those in any of your slides. So for this one, for example, if we wanted to, we could definitely add on the board. So if we do the Friday, we come up here and we want this little doggy. And then here he is. It can be Friday. So again, there are two parts to it. The first part's going to be like the name of it and where it came from. Just simply click on that box and hit delete and it will go away. And then you're left with just that. And you can resize and you can put them wherever you want. If you do not have it already, you can also do the Bitmoji extension. And so this is where I got my person. And you could just search. I actually learned that if you just open it up and you just search for pose, then all of these fun poses come up. And same thing, you drag and you drop. And here she is. How fun is that? So maybe on that last slide where you're like, good job, or you tried, you could even do that incorporated. And so on that Lego one, how we created down here, the icon for the home, you could just insert the image and then search the web for home. You could use one of these icons and you would just drag it. Yep. And then you could resize it. And then so you know and your students know that every time you click on that, it's going to bring you back to the home. The tricky part is having it resized so that it fits kind of nicely, but not big enough so that your students click on it, because you don't always want them bringing you back to the home slide on purpose. So then if you just do click on it and you could use just a regular picture or a GIF, then you would insert again. And so you're inserting links within the link within the slides. And for this one, maybe I wanted it to be on my first slide. So then I would click over here and I know that maybe I wanted to come back to this home page every single time. And you could always go back in and change those. So for example, for this one that Misha has, she has, let's see, I think one of these have a, here we go. So on this angry, let's say that for the first week we share one video, then you could come back in and you could change the link just by simply clicking on the link and then you edit the link. And so then you could change, maybe you want to show a different video that day. You can show a different video. Or maybe you want to add a video. So then you would again come in here, go into your insert. Maybe we want to add a video and maybe we want to put happy song. I don't know. Depending on the level of your students, right? We want to make sure that, oh, Pharrell Williams, happy, and select, and then we could do that. So that's the nice thing about that. The same thing about Patty's hearts. If she wanted to, with this, once you've created this, you could take away the links. You can add links. If we wanted to, we could just go in and do the same thing for math. So let's say that you've got one that you've created and you're like, oh, this is such a great idea. I want to use that same background. You could click on the link, and then we're going to duplicate the slide. And so then in your duplicated slide, you're going to come in and let's say that we want to do for ELA. So you could take off some of the links. And in this part, I want to do a library, or let's do books. So if we search for books, I'm going to click here to insert the picture. You are going to need to size it, so it will take some time to create something as elaborate as Miss Patty Hart did. Okay, and then you've got your books, and let's say we want to insert a link. I don't know, whatever website you use for reading, you could put there. And then when your students have time, they've got the math website and they've also got the ELA. So that's the nice thing, is you could come in and just take these off, and then you're not having to do everything twice. You would just delete these. And then you could create one for ELA, one for math, one for science, whatever subject you're teaching, maybe one for SEL. And then just remember to come over here and click on the reading tools to practice. Again, to do that again, you could just come over here, duplicate the slide, always go back to your duplicated slide, and maybe we want to do SEL practice, tools to practice. And so you could even switch up the Bitmojis on here. There are so many things that you can do. She could do that. She could come back in and she could do a GIF with reading. And then click on the stickers, and then you could bring it here. Don't forget to do that. Resize. And there you go. All right. I think I've got 1 minute. So thank you guys for your time. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. This is my email. I hope I shared something with you today that you could incorporate in your classroom. And good luck on the drawing. That's exciting. So thank you again.
And thank you, Rosa. That was very good. That was a wonderful presentation. That was intriguing all the way through. And as she said, it's about time for prizes. So make sure you put the hashtag PB Tech Conference in the chat. And only put it in once. And I'll put the link in here. But while you're doing that, we're also going to do, for the ESE department, we need you to actually fill out our evaluation form. I'm going to put another link in the chat for you so you can actually click it. And I need you to fill out the form for us. The link for the ESA survey, excuse me, is on in the chat. If you click on a link so we can get that caught up while the prizes are running. And it looks like it's rolling nice and they're coming in fast. And again, you can contact Rosa. She did a great job. We learned some wonderful, great new tools. And we're letting it roll for another minute. Let it go. And we'll see if we can do, can I show that or no? There. And the winner is Kristen Weissong. Congratulations, Kristen. Congratulations on it. Make sure you contact John Long. You email John Long that you're the winner. And we thank you all for joining us, and thank you for all the presentations and all the different sponsors we've had. And
Please have them do that. I just put the link